So some would, absolutely. But we had 48 people sign up at the Gay Pride event. We had a booth out there in downtown Denver. 48 people signed up and registered as Libertarian voters at that event. I doubt any of them would have voted for a Republican in the next election. So we reached people from both sides of the traditional left-to-right spectrum. Barry Goldwater, before Libertarian Party existed, would have been up here. William Buckley, up here. Mentioned some of those other guys, Friedman and Hayek, are up here. So, if you want to help spread the movement, go to lpcolorado.org. You can check us out further there. And also register if you're so inclined. We'd love to have you. That'll be probably more than my 5 minutes, so I'll be glad to take any questions. The Libertarian Party, across the United States, I don't know the numbers, it's not big. It's not a big number. There have been some polls during Rasmussen did a poll where people took this quiz, and like I said, it's only 10 questions, and they're yes, no, or maybe answers. They came out with about 20% of Americans believe in a libertarian philosophy. Now, obviously, it's going to be even a smaller percentage of that would join the party. But in Colorado, we've got almost 12,000 registered libertarians right now. That number went up about 4,000 during the McCain-Obama race because people realized that they weren't being represented by either one of those choices. Okay. The question is, how practical are some of the libertarian ideas, specifically open borders and only fighting wars of non-aggression as a national policy? Well, as far as the immigration goes, you can't have the open borders until you do away with all the free stuff the government gives out. Then once you get away with all of the free stuff that the government gives out, if somebody wants to come here and take a job, they should be able to do that. That's the libertarian position. If they come here and want to take money from the government, libertarians wouldn't have any money to give them. So if they're willing to work for a given a wage that the market sets, they should be able to do that. We believe in free markets, and that includes the labor market. Now, when it comes to national defense is obviously one of the most important things the federal government can do. And we believe in what is commonly referred to as the principle of non-aggression. That means all use of force, all initiation of force is immoral. So, there can be differences of opinion about what is the initiation of force. If someone threatens you, is that an initiation of force? Maybe it is. So, there is some leeway there. But that's where the argument would come in. But that is the principle that you would apply. The initiation of force. The initiation, and obviously you can argue about what is initiation. I mean, you could justify the war in Afghanistan under that principle. Some wouldn't, some would. So we make that argument. Iraq might be a more dubious case, but you could try to make it. Yes, ma'am, I'll give you about today. What does the government do? Provide national defense on a federal level, provide local police, and a court system. That's all. Now, I'll also say that that's going to happen tomorrow. But the point is to fight to get that way. I mean, there are legitimate uses of government, despite some anarcho-capitalists.
There are none.
But there are legitimate uses of government. But we are so far away from that right now. So far away, it's absurd. It's ridiculous. So every step we can take to get back towards limited government or smaller government is a step we need to take. And once we get to the point where we're going to decide whether or not we should fund local police, we might have that argument with Justin in 100 years, but we're not having it tomorrow. So we are out there trying to curtail the growth of government first. I mean, it's growing at an astonishing rate. And it grew just as fast under the Republicans. Okay, maybe not just as fast, but it grew very fast under the Republicans as it is doing under the Democrats. So the Republicans had their chance. Ronald Reagan had Republican Congress. Romer had a Republican Congress. Government grew. And you can either give that your sanction by continuing to work for the status quo, or you can really try to do something about it. I mean, and I understand a lot of my friends are Republicans and Democrats, and a lot of my Republican friends say, well, it's got to work within the party. Well, we believe that you had that chance, and you failed at it. How many times does it take before your cheating husband come back and say, this time I mean it, before you walk out on it? Well, we walked out.
Go ahead. Have an intelligent question. Okay, let's assume. Good. Let's assume the libertarians, excuse me,
go ahead.
Libertarians.
I'm going to let Kylie answer this.
Let's assume the libertarians gain power. Now, you just said military, police.
Court system. The third thing I mentioned were military, local police, and a court system, civil and criminal.
Court system. Okay. And out of everything else, now, libertarians are in power. How do you prevent those that are in power that call themselves libertarians from going over to the dark side, taking the money?
The question is, if libertarians got control, how can we prevent them from going over to the dark side? Only way to do that is to vote them out. Okay, there's no guarantee for all human beings. But hopefully, if you've got a principle, it's something to strive for, and if you fall short of it, but you're right, people are people. But I don't think that's a reason to abandon the idea.
No, I'm not saying it's a reason for abandoning the idea, but there needs to be some regulation in order to prevent people from working in their own best interest as opposed to the good of the public.
Oh, there's a question there, Dave.
Well, I guess the question is, I guess the statement is, there should be some regulation to keep the politicians from just working in their own self-interest.
Isn't that what they do now?
I mean, I do think that's pretty much what we've got right now with the two-party duopoly. And you're right. Yes.
It's not working very well.
No, exactly.
No.
I agree. We're on the same page there. On the chart here? Yeah. Well, everybody will get the chart, and I should be handing that out right now. But this basically just says that if you think the government should be in charge of your money and your personal life, you are a statist.
Centrists, you just want a little bit of government control over your money and your life. Centrists like to be partially right.
Really does. And there's two questions. This isn't a perfect tool, but it's a good one. It's a good way to illustrate the different philosophies. And if you answer maybe on all 10 questions, because you can answer yes or maybe on the 10 questions. If you answer maybe on all of them, you're going to be in the simplest block. And if you answer that the government should have control over everything, you're going to be down here in the status block. So that's the difference on this particular chart. Anything else? Matt, Charles.
Dave, when it comes down to the key difference between principle and politics, I think obviously this group tends to appeal to the small libertarians in terms of principle. But in terms of politics, we know that the game is rigged in this country for